All right, so welcome everyone. I'm Kelly Coughlin. I am the Senior Career Manager at the Office of Career Services within the Costello College of Business at George Mason University. So you are in the right spot if you want to have a chat with Kelly and Kelly today. Kelly from Enterprise and Kelly from Office of Career Services. So Kelly, I'm going to allow you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. So my name is Kelly Blaz. I am a talent acquisition manager with Enterprise Mobility. I have been with Enterprise over 30 years. Started out in our management development program, was able to move up into store management, then kind of jumped over into the HR side of things. Um, have done talent acquisition and talent development, but really the bulk of my career has been spent in the talent acquisition space. I've worked with Enterprise in Texas, Florida, Europe, and now here in the Washington, D.C. metro area. So have had the opportunity to kind of see Enterprise in many different areas. And all of it has been exciting and fun. I'm super excited to be here today and to share a little bit more about Enterprise.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, enterprise, most of us think, straight up car rental. And so when we see the name, we think, well, I don't want to work at the front desk of a car rental agency. And so I'm just going to pass by. But it's obviously a lot more than that. So if you could talk about kind of I know we had talked briefly about the management training program, but there's so much more. So go ahead and tell us more about
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So, kind of your foot into the door of Enterprise is the management trainee program, and that's where everybody kind of starts within our organization. Even our executive level leadership all started as management trainees or interns. Um, and as far as what you're going to be learning in the management trainee program is you're going to be learning a little bit about how to manage a multi-million dollar operation. So you're going to be learning about customer service and sales, operations, logistics, a little bit of B2B marketing, how to analyze and interpret financial statements. So you're going to learn all the different aspects of what it takes to make a business successful. And we're going to do that in a very structured training program. All of our management trainees have a lot of training. Our training program typically takes about 8 to 12 months to complete. During that time, it's very structured. It's a combination of both on-the-job training and classroom training, where you'll start off in the beginning learning the basics, like how do I run a car, how do I answer a phone, how do I do these basics, and then it progresses at the right time frame. So, maybe 9 months from now, you'll start to dive into the financial aspects and how every business decision that you make is going to impact the bottom line. So it does progress timely with what you should be learning at that point in time. So again, the purpose of the program is for you to earn some promotions, get promoted to management. Your first promotion with Enterprise is the assistant manager position. And then from there, you would work towards becoming a store manager. And then, of course, I'll talk about more opportunities. I don't know if that's a question down the line, but we have more opportunities beyond that. But that's kind of the beginning of the program is taking you from management trainee to an assistant manager and then to a store manager and then beyond that, of course.
Okay, so tell me if I'm a student at, Costello College of Business, I'm obviously all of our students are business majors, and then we have different concentrations. So finance, as
Mhm,
you had alluded to,
mhm,
and
mhm,
supply chain and all these kind of different components that
mhm.
have to do with enterprise. At what point should I get my foot in the door? Is there an internship? Should I be doing this while I'm still in school, or what makes the most sense?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. So we have a couple of opportunities. We do offer internships. The internship that we do offer is more of a general business internship, where again, you're going to kind of get a sneak peek of our management trainee program for store management. But during that program, we have folks that come in from our other business lines where you'll get an opportunity to learn about those career paths as well. So you'll have some exposure there. So, for example, we have fleet management, we have the folks that come in from risk management. You'll definitely be meeting with the business management team. So, again, they're going to kind of give you that sneak peek of what it's like to work in our accounting side of the business. It's kind of accounting and finance combined. So, you'll get to learn a little bit about that. If you're looking at a career where you just want to be a dedicated sales professional, we have those career paths as well. So, I mean, I'm just kind of, it's the tip of the iceberg, if you will, with all the different types of opportunities that we have. Um, we do have IT careers as well, but that's completely a different entryway because you do have to have specific skill sets, but we even have careers in IT as well. So lots of options within enterprise. Our promote from within, kind of policy, I guess, if you will, allows for you to be able to move into different departments within the company. And our management trainee program and internship kind of help you kind of figure out where you best align, where your strengths align, so that you can kind of focus on that path. But I will say that you do have to earn some promotions like an assistant manager or a branch manager before you can kind of jump into those other career paths, only because you really need to understand the operations at its core before you can be successful in those other areas. Um, I say that, but maybe there's two exceptions. The accounting and financial team, sometimes they'll definitely take people straight out of college into those programs because they have their own dedicated management program for business management, and the same thing for IT as well. So,
Okay. And I love that. I mean, this is kind of what our students need to know too. If, we see these kind of bigger name firms and realize that it's not just sales. It's not just working at the front desk. They are a major company that has IT components and finance and accounting and
mhm.
supply chain and like all these different areas. But this is a really good pathway to get your foot in the door. And we had talked about this before, but I believe this is a paid training program. It's not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Both our internships and our management development program are both paid for sure. So for internships, working for enterprise, you're going to be working 40 hours per week. So it's really going to give you a sneak peek of what it's like to adult and be in a job where you need to get up and get to work early and work a full day. Currently, our pay for our internships is $19 per hour. Although I'm working on trying to get that increased. So maybe by the time we post our jobs, it will be. But it's still, I think great competitive pay for the work and the experience. Additionally, we do offer, of course, a great starting pay for our management trainee program, and the ability to really advance pretty quickly within the company. So you'll start off with an entry-level comp of 60,000 to start. Completion of the program, of the training program, you get a $1,000 bump for finishing the program. That also means that you've completed 2 tests through the training program that you have to finish. But more importantly, once you complete the program, you can start applying for assistant manager positions. And the assistant manager position at Enterprise starts at around 70 to 73,000 and there's wiggle room to get promoted to a bigger store within that assistant manager role. And typically the assistant managers top out at around 80,000 as an assistant. Now, keeping in mind that that first promotion can conceivably happen within your first year with Enterprise. So starting at 60, you could wind up around, probably realistically around 70 to 73,000, but then you have some wiggle room there to build upon that to 80,000. After you spent probably around a year, maybe a year and a half tops as an assistant manager, then you have the ability to get promoted to a store manager role. Our store managers start at around 80 to 85,000 and go upwards of 100,000 as a store manager. We actually call them a branch manager. But also another little side perk for that position is a company car, which is a great perk. I have worked with Enterprise, as I said, a very long time. I have never had to pay an insurance bill for a car. I've had a company gas card. I get a new car every year in my role. So it is a good perk to have. It's not figured into your compensation, but something that, really is an awesome benefit to have as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so if I'm talking about like the internship versus the management training program,
Mhm.
is there a cycle for the internship? Like, is there a time to join or what does that look like?
Yeah, so our internships, actually, I will be opening those up pretty soon. Over the next month, I'll be posting our internships. They'll go live, and you can find them. They'll be posted on Handshake as well. And honestly, with our internship, the early bird gets the worm, that they do fill up quickly. So, and we do have a limited amount of spots, but we do have openings all throughout the DMV and also all over the United States as well. So we're a global company, we're everywhere. So there will be, if you're not necessarily from this area and you need to go back home for the summer, you could apply to an internship back home. Not a big deal there, but we will be opening those up. Um, as far as, and we hope to have those filled by January, February timeframe.
Okay.
So definitely want to
And
be
that
good.
would be for a summer start.
Yes, my apologies. Yes, for a summer start. It's a 12-week paid program, as I mentioned, that will start at the latter part of May and end at the beginning of August.
Okay.
So that's the internship, and that's always in the summer.
Okay. And then
And
I would imagine that internship is a nice funnel then too. Like if you've made it through the internship and everything's going
yes,
well,
yes,
that's increasing your
yes.
chances of kind of getting that
Oh,
full-time job
absolutely.
offer.
Yeah. So our internship also is a great stepping stone right into our management trainee program. At the end of the summer, we'll make a decision if we'll be offering you a role upon graduation to enter our program. The benefit of having done an internship is it does give you the ability to get promoted at a faster clip. In fact, I was just seeing a promotion announcement this morning from another university. One of our interns from last summer, um, just got promoted to an assistant manager. So she, only a few months out from college and she's already at that higher pay band, um, because she got promoted. And she was able to do that because she did an internship. It gave her ability to kind of fast track a bit more so than somebody coming straight out of college. So that's a benefit. The other thing with the internship is if you are local, and you would like to continue on while you're finishing out your last semester of college, we do have what we call an accelerated internship program, which gives you the ability to work part-time. Usually it's 25 hours or less. We're flexible. It's usually most students do between 15 and 25. They work on a part-time basis. We're flexible with hours. We give you priority for if you have a test or a project coming up, we're going to be super flexible, but does allow you to um, continue on and still get paid. And then, again, continually work on your career while you're finishing up school. And again, that does give you that ability to get promoted at a little bit faster than, again, coming straight out of college.
That is great. It sounds like, I mean, obviously there's a ton of locations and stuff. So for the
Mhm.
internship versus the management training program, is that 100% in person or what does that look like?
So this position, our internship and our management trainee positions are all based in person. There's no hybrid work with this role, honestly. But the cool thing about enterprise too is that we're very much care about your commute. So we always look at where you live, and placements are based on, which a store assignment you would work at would be based within a 30-minute commute or less.
Oh,
So
nice.
that is always our goal. I mean, yeah, there might be a store location right across from where you live, but if there's not a need there, we're not going to place you there. But if there's one 20 minutes away that has a need, then we'll put you at that store. But we're never going to say, okay, you're going to get hired and then you have to drive an hour to get to work. That won't happen in enterprise.
Gotcha. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So another thing I would ask is it sounds like there's no specific perfect major or anything that I need to be concerned about if I want to go this route, or what have you seen?
Yeah.
Who are the
We
most
are
successful?
pretty Yeah, that's a great question. We are pretty open major wise. Obviously, we tend to attract more business majors because of all the different business components that
Sure.
you'll be kind of touching upon in this program. But again, we've had, one of our executive leaders up at the corporate level had a degree in forestry.
Oh,
He was just really good with people. He was good with, leadership, and he picked up the business acumen part of it. And now here he is, an SVP in the company. So the people that do well here at Enterprise are very people focused. They're great with, again, with their employees, but they're also good with customers. They have a bit of, an interest in the business acumen side of things. They do have a good persuasion skill set that they can be persuasive, um, whether that be in the sales aspect, but also being persuasive and getting people to buy um, into their, I guess, strategies for running a business.
Mhm.
So all of those types of things, those types of skills really do well here with enterprise.
Okay, so on that note, so
Hmm.
I'm, competing with, let's say, a bunch of other business students in terms of either job history, volunteer history, student
Hmm.
groups. What's going to make me competitive and stand out? It sounds like it's pretty competitive to get into the internship
Yeah,
and management training program. So how can I differentiate myself when I'm, applying?
absolutely. So we're definitely looking for work experience, and I always feel like sometimes people downplay their experiences, which I think all experience is important.
Yeah.
So if you work like at enterprise, I love to see a resume that um, where you had customer interaction. So if you were a server, or if you were you worked at a golf club and worked in the gift shop or the pro shop, maybe worked in a retail establishment or even in fast food. All of that shows for us, first of all, work ethic, but secondly, ability to kind of work in a fast-paced environment, deal with people from all different walks of life. Maybe if you've had to handle different situations with different types of customers. So we love people that have worked in a customer service industry. We also love athletes as well. And I know it's kind of a jump, but if you were either in an athlete in college or even in intramural sports, that kind of thing. For us, that shows a competitive nature, again, grit, work ethic. So that looks great on a resume. Clubs and organizations are important as well. Getting involved in that club and organization, whether, you know, if you have a leadership role, great. But even maybe just volunteering to maybe um, lead a committee or something like that. Just getting involved with that organization is important. So again, that applies to volunteerism, clubs, orgs that you're involved in on campus. So we're always looking for, a good mix of those types of things. If there's a gap in one area, that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to have all of those things, but those are just things that we're kind of drawn to.
Okay. And then in terms of timing of where I am in my academic career, are we thinking like, that summer, junior year, senior year, or
Yeah,
what makes the
yeah.
most
For
sense?
for internships, we're looking for rising seniors, so juniors, right? That are graduating. They could be graduating in the fall. They could also be graduating. Usually it's May, or I'm sorry, May graduates, and then they could also be going into the December timeframe as well.
Sure.
So rising seniors. And then for our management development program, we're already considering candidates for the December grads right now. And then we'll start interviewing for May graduates of this coming year. Again, kind of starting at the beginning of the year and even into the end of this year, we'll start already considering people for our May grad class as well. But enterprise, we recruit for our management development program year round because we're always backfilling and not backfilling for for bad reasons. It's
Right.
because again, we have a pipeline that we're constantly filling into those other roles I mentioned, other business lines, promotions, growth, all of those things kind of fill the need. We have to constantly be filling the pipeline with good people so that we are ready to promote and be able to keep those business lines successful.
Okay. And it sounds like, can you go into maybe a little more depth on the training? Because I'm guessing it's not sitting in a room watching PowerPoints
No,
all day long or anything like
no.
that. It's a little more hands-on, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so we have a really great program. So we have an excellent trainer first and foremost, but it is a combination of both classroom and on-the-job training. So when you first start with us, there's an onboarding, there's your typical classroom training that will be held in Rockville, Maryland, where our local corporate headquarters is located. And so you'll go there to the training center, work with PQ, who's our amazing trainer, and he'll set the foundational training. It's 4 solid days. We put you up in a hotel with all the other trainings in your cohort. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie built during that 4 days. And really, again, they're setting the foundation, teaching you the basics. But from there, you're going to build on that program. Because remember, I said it was more of like an 8 to 12 month training. And the reason it's an 8 to 12 month is you do have a little bit of a control over when you start the program, or I'm sorry, when you finish the program.
Okay.
So a lot of that depends on the individual, when they feel comfortable to be complete and when they want to take those tests and such. But the training program is ongoing. So your manager, your assistant manager will really take the lead in your development. You're going to be following a very structured, we call it a roadmap. Again, cars. So we kind of, so your journey to management. And on that roadmap, we'll kind of outline what you should be learning month one, month two, month three, and there'll be tasks that need to be completed. Some of those things will be on your own, some of those things will be with your managers. There'll be, we also have professional development meetings with you and your manager. We'll be sitting one-on-one talking about these are the things you're doing well, these are the things maybe you have some area of opportunity. It could also be used for coaching moments, and let's do some role playing and things like that. So the training is ongoing. And then you'll have some follow-up training throughout that first year as well, back in the classroom, back in Rockville, where we have different departments come in. Again, we're not going to teach you how to analyze and interpret a financial statement in your first 3 months, but
Sure.
around 7 to 9, that's when you're going to get that training and development. So we'll have the business management team come in because they're the subject matter experts and go over that. Um, so there's lots of training that you're going to be exposed to in the classroom, but majority of, I would say, honestly, is on the job, with coaching and on the spot feedback, that kind of thing, so that you're always learning, continually. And honestly, there's going to be a little bit of trial and error sometimes. That's how you learn, and that's okay. We have an environment that is very forgiving. There's nothing that you can do that we can't undo. So we always say go for it and learn, we're going to have your back at the end of the day.
Yeah, and obviously we always say experience is the best teacher,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
it's nice too that there's somebody there to kind of guide you and help you through it.
Oh
That
yeah.
sometimes with the interns, various internships, here's your seat, best of luck.
Yeah, no,
So
everything is very interactive. Like when you join Enterprise, whether it be as an intern or as a management trainee, or even in our business management team, you're working around, you're in a team setting. So you've got people at different stages in their development going through the program. Sometimes they'll even pair you with a buddy. That is somebody there that's kind of your dedicated person. But you always have management working alongside you. You have management trainees at different stages. There's people to reach out to, people to ask questions of, people that can jump in if they see you struggling. There's always going to be that support, and there's people there to help you. We want you to be successful. We want you to feel comfortable. So, again, it's that kind of comfort that you'll have working in a team setting. You're not completely on your own.
sure, sure.
So,
And it
mhm.
sounds like it's nice. I mean, obviously, when you're trying to stand apart from other people coming in, like you were saying, kind of any kind of customer service, do you have some conflict management skills? What is so you're going to learn a little, piece of each, I imagine, in the training too. Like, okay, you have the angry customer. This is how we kind of solve this problem. And having some of
Yes.
those skills coming in would probably really help.
Yes, yes, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. And again, we have a lot of wonderful customers that are repeats and just like wonderful. But every now and then you're going to get that grumpy customer that's going to come in, they're upset for whatever reason and they take it out on us. And so it's our job to kind of diffuse the situation, maybe turn that frown, upside down,
Right.
from happy to from a negative to a positive experience. So
Sure.
it's a challenge, but we work through it, and you're going to learn from the best. Our managers really know how to do de-escalations if they come up, and really jump in if necessary as well,
Sure.
to help
Absolutely.
out. Mhm.
Okay. I know we're almost to the halfway mark, so I wanted to
Mhm.
just kind of invite you. Is there anything you haven't shared yet that you would like to touch on? And then I'm going to follow that up with what advice do you have for our students? So,
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think the other thing I'd like to mention about Enterprise is community. I think we really have a strong culture. We hire only college grads into this program. Everybody is working towards a career. They're very goal driven, they want to move up the ladder, and that's what this program is all designed to do. It's not just to be stuck in the same spot. So there's constantly that movement, hopefully upward within the company, or
Right.
we call it also a career lattice because you can climb the ladder and go all the way to a VP role, or general manager role, or maybe do the career lattice, which is kind of like what I did and kind of went down the HR side of things. That was never on my radar, by the way. It was always management. And then again, you kind of figure out where you belong within the company.
Yeah.
Um, but in terms of culture and community, we are very team oriented. We're very much a culture of recognition. We have a lot of team building events. We have an awards event that we host for every month for top performers that are doing well. Um, we have team building events with happy hours. We have volunteer opportunities. If that's something that's important to you, we do a lot of volunteerism in the communities that we serve. Um, so I think that's one of the things that really drew me to Enterprise and has really, I guess, sustained my 30 plus year career. It's just really been just the people I've worked with. I think we all really work well together. We all want to see each other succeed. So you're definitely in a team environment. You've people to talk to, people to go to lunch with. There's that, environment, people to study with for when you're studying for the tests and things like that.
Right.
So I loved that about Enterprise. And there's something else about the training program I would also mention is it's very much structured. So it's not like you are having to figure it out on your own. We've kind of given you a roadmap and like this is what's going to happen and this is what you need to get to from this point to this point. So it's just up to you to kind of execute, but we'll be there to gently push if necessary. Um, and also it's on you as well to kind of take what we give you and kind of push your career forward as well. But yeah, I would say that's kind of what I would say is kind of some great things about Enterprise. Yeah.
And then, so in terms of sort of the interview process, so obviously I apply, maybe I apply for the
Mhm.
internship, and then I'm notified if I got selected for an interview. Is there like a screening interview and then an in-person one, or what does that process?
Yeah, that's great. So if you decide to apply, which I hope you do, we have for our internships, depending on the territory. My territory, I only do two interviews. Some of my colleagues in their territories do three. So it's either going to be a 2 or 3 interview process. The first one is generally with a recruiter, and it's more of a screening interview. The second interview is on site. We want you to go and see a store location, meet the team. That you'll actually even do a bit of a shadow where you kind of get to do a realistic job preview and kind of see the environment, and spend some time with the employees. Then you'll go into an interview with a store manager and an area manager. From there, then you'll have, if you're selected, you'll move on to a final interview with the regional vice president. So it is a 3-step process for both internship and for the MT program or the management trainee program. Like I said, for my area, it's only 2 interviews, but nonetheless, still, a great experience. And again, it's really designed for you to see multi levels of leadership, but also get some time in the branch, get to see the team, kind of see what you would be doing from the lens of an employee versus as a customer.
Yeah, and I would say that's a rarity to actually
Yeah,
get to kind of shadow and see. I know what you read on paper or what you read on
yeah,
the handshake post, but here, you get to see before you commit
yeah,
what you're actually
yeah.
going to be doing on the
Yeah,
job.
yeah. The first interview, just so you know, is a virtual interview. So
Yeah.
we're not like, first one's virtual, second one is in person, third one is in person as well. Sometimes we are able to combine those two. Sometimes it works out. Again, we try not to drag out the process because we know there's a lot of competition for great candidates.
Right.
So here at Enterprise, we're going to move you through very quickly. And you're also going to get an answer one way or the other pretty quickly as well. So there's no, you're not going to be left dangling to figure out what, if I got the job or not. We're going to
Yeah.
definitely let you know pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up with what advice do you have for our students?
Yeah, I would just say, have an open mind as you're looking at different career opportunities. But I would also say, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, or get
Hmm.
comfortable with getting uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what I meant to
yeah.
say. Putting yourself out there, getting to the career fairs, introducing yourself to different employers, and you know, I think that's half the battle is just going out there and making connections. Again, all of us recruiters, we want to get to know you. We're not scary people. So I know there's a career fair coming up, so definitely, stop by the enterprise booth. But make sure you look at all the opportunities that are there, and you just never know what opportunities are going to be provided by those organizations. And again, I would just say, take those opportunities to build your skills while you still can before you graduate, whether that be getting involved in getting an internship, also potentially getting a job, joining a club. Maybe you've been in a club and you've been shy to step up into a leadership role. All those things are going to really help you to stand out as you're interviewing against other candidates. So continue to build that experience while you can, and it's only going to help you for sure.
Well, thanks for attending, everybody. Kelly, thank you for being here.
Of
Uh,
course.
Very helpful, very insightful. I love getting that kind of firsthand perspective. And then don't forget, Kelly's going to be back with us for career fair prep. And what was the other one? I think it was LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
Yep,
uh-huh.
yep, coming up, and the career fair.
And
So,
the career fair. I will be there. I'm going to try to bring some of my alumni as well. So you can hear from them as well, about their career paths and their successes as well.
all right. So thanks so much. And as I said,
Awesome.
I will be sending out a follow-up email with Kelly's contact information and that QR code in case you missed it. So, all right.